I'm Em,
And I'm Lex.
and we're thrilled to welcome you to the Ready, Set, Coach podcast.
Now, we're not just your hosts. We're also mamas, entrepreneurs, coaches, friends, and co-founders of the Ready, Set, Coach community.
What began as a pandemic side hustle has blossomed into a vibrant online community crafted by coaches for coaches.
So when we're not immersed in our coaching community on Circle, we're busy managing our other businesses, navigating the ups and downs of life, and of course, recording this podcast.
This is where we dive deep into epic conversations about life, business, coaching,
and everything in between.
So are you ready, Lex?
I'm set, Em.
Let's coach.
Okay. Hello, welcome to the Ready, Set, Coach podcast. I am so excited. I have a co-host today that is not Lexi, and it is the fabulous, incredible Erin Hines. She is a human design business coach, and I will let her elaborate more on her incredible specialty. But Erin, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited. I love this Ready, Set, Coach program.
Isn't it fun?
Mm-hmm.
It's funny how like a pandemic idea. Do you know, actually, you've probably heard this story before, but it was basically spawned by the idea. I had a client that was like circling myself and Lexi and was like, should I hire you or should I hire Lexi? And I was like, we're very, very different. So I went to Lexi and I was like, maybe we should create something together. And that's how Ready, Set, Coach was born.
Oh, I love that. It's just like a simple idea, and then it blossomed into this huge group of coaches, and it's great.
Yeah. And like our hypothesis was, well, what's a problem that we wish we had solved like earlier on? And it was both of us came to the agreement. I wish we had learned how to like be coaches or, had support because, we were both so different in our initiation into coaching, but I kind of like band-aided my way into coaching. And, there's so many different programs for like the generalists. So I thought, wouldn't it be fun to create something for coaches?
Well, exactly. And like what I really liked is just being surrounded by other coaches, because just like get inspiration, see what other people are doing and support each other. And it's just like, it's a fantastic group.
It really is. And we were talking pre-call too. I think it's always fun surrounding yourself with coaches versus your friends who, well, you can find coaches will probe a little deeper and ask those questions where, I don't know, I will be with some friends and they're like so surface level at times.
Yeah, they don't like, this is a deep conversation, but then like they don't get that deep because they don't understand like even what I'm exactly talking about. So yeah, it's great to have those other coaches that know exactly what you're going through and like give you like that pinpoint advice.
And human design is such an interesting topic. I feel like they're the people that are down the rabbit hole of human design or have never heard about it before in their lives. So I want to first hear, like, can you define what human design is and then tell us your journey into getting into human design?
Yeah, so human design, I like to think of it as the science of differentiation. And it's just a system that takes your birth date, your birth time, and your birthplace, and it combines ancient astrology, like just astrology and the I Ching, but then it also mixes in modern sciences like physics and genetics to really create this chart that shows how you're designed. And the way I like to think of it is like each human in the world is like a little puzzle piece. And when we're living our life as that puzzle piece, all the puzzle pieces fit together and there's more of a harmonious, life is easy and we're all like easily flowing. So human design is really just all about like living your most authentic self and how to make decisions with ease, how to kind of go down this path. It's like your North Star, and you could always go back to your human design if you're feeling a little wobbly or unsure in life. It's something to go back to and be like, oh, okay, this is how I could get back on track with what I'm here to do in this world and live, my best life.
I think it is such a cool, I love what you said, that like basically that puzzle piece and a map of who you are or an understanding, a blueprint even of who you are. And so I know there's different types of human designs. Can you define like what the different the variety pack of human designs what they are?
Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot to human design, but like the real basics is there's 5 different types. So you're going to fall into one of those 5 types, and you're either going to be a manifester, a generator, which I'm a generator, and then there's the manifesting generator, which is kind of combination of the manifester and the generator. And then there's projectors, and then there's reflectors. And so you'll fall into one of those. The population, there's about 37% are generators. So most likely, a generator. Manifesting generators is about 30%. Then there's manifestors, that's about like 10%. And then also projectors. And then the rest are reflectors, but that's only about 1% of the population. So they're
It's a
more.
really small one. Yeah.
Mhm.
I had a reflector work for me, and she was such a reflector. It was actually kind of wild. I'm a projector, and while I would be like, okay, let's go do something, she'd be like, well, let's think about it and like let's really reflect on like what we're gonna do. I
Uh-huh.
was like, and it was so fascinating to see the differences of like how we get stuff done. And I
Mhm.
know a lot of people will bring human design into the workplace too. And I think that's a really powerful tool where, as a projector, like I need to be invited into a project, or I need to like be included into the project where maybe a different type like can just jump right in. So it is
Mhm.
cool to have that understanding and that kind of like that blueprint of how people best work with one another.
Yeah, it's a lot about learning how your energy works.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, projectors, you need to be more like invited or like seen. And it's going to be 10 times more difficult if you just like, hey, I'm going to go do this and just like force, because you're very much like a big picture thinking. So like if you just start forcing your ideas onto someone, that's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like they don't want to hear that. Like if you give your opinion and it's unsolicited in a sense.
Yeah.
Or so it's like it's a lot about how your energy works in human design. So it's like it's fantastic in the workplace to really understand how your coworkers, or I mean, especially yourself, how your energy flows and like what you could do to best utilize your energy so you don't burn out. But then it's good to know how your coworkers or your employee or whoever you're working with, how their energy works. So you're not, pushing something onto them, because like a manifester, they need breaks. Like they could work, 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 but they need like
Mm-hmm.
that time for rest. And that's not necessarily, you're supposed to be there from 9 to 5 and work, the entire time. Well, not everyone can do that. Like that's how they're going to burn out. So some people just need some more, a few more breaks. And then they're going to be like super productive in that time they are working. And it's just kind of fascinating to understand people, and human design really brings that like another layer of kind of like emotional intelligence, and like just
Mm-hmm.
digging into that a little bit of just understanding how people are all different, and you really just need to
Yeah.
utilize their strengths versus kind of pinhole them into a certain way.
Yeah, that we're all the same and that we can all work the same capacity. It
Hmm.
always makes me wonder, like people who were cigarette smokers and took multiple breaks a day. I
Hmm.
wonder if those were like manifestors and
Yeah.
they needed
Yeah.
to just reset every hour for 20
Hmm.
minutes.
Yeah, exactly. And it is very fascinating to think about that, but it's like one of those things. Most people don't know their human design, but it's like so many
Totally.
times I'm like, I just want to walk up to you like, what's your human design?
I
Like,
know.
like, tell me more.
I always appreciate when I'm on a call and I'm like chatting with the person, or we're in a one-on-one breakout session and I'm able to be like, I can get a vibe with them really quickly, and we can kind of play a language game that only a specific type of person can do. So I'm like, what's your astrology? And then they say it. And then I'm like, what's your rising sign? And then they say it. And then like, what's your human design? And then what's your Enneagram? And like, we kind of just now have this full picture of someone based on these snapshot information or numbers that they provide us.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
No, it's just like fascinating because like I just love people, and I think that's kind of
yeah.
partly why I love human design is like I love people and like understanding them. And because like people are fascinating. And this, yeah, human design gives you another level of just knowing someone, and I love it.
I know. I will like text my husband and be like, so remind me what time you were born. He's like, oh God, what is she doing? Or, text my best friend who is very not into this world at all. And I'm like, just for fun, like what day of the week, I'll
Yeah.
just ask the
Uh-huh.
different things. She's like, oh God, here we are. Emily's gonna go down a rabbit hole on me
Yeah.
to understand our complexities. But how
Yeah.
did you like what was your journey into human design?
Yeah, so it was about, I think I found it about 2 years ago.
Okay.
And I had already started my business. I was just doing solely like business analyst, business architecture, really helping coaches and business owners improve their processes. And then I was on a networking call and someone mentioned human design and they kept talking about it. And I felt so lost. But then like, oh, so after call, I was like, oh, let's go look this up. And I did. And then it's just like, it was fascinating to me because I've done like a lot of personality tests,
Yeah.
Myers-Briggs or Strengths Finders. And it's good insight about yourself, but there's something about human design that I was like, oh, like I feel so seen, or like, wow, this feels like so spot on to who I am. And so I kind of just went down the rabbit hole of learning everything I could about my design. And I found it so helpful as being a coach and being able to understand, make tell you stuff like how to market and like how to just run your business and how to make decisions on like what path you should take next or what project I should work on. So it was like so helpful just for me personally that I was like, hey, this would be like super helpful if I knew my client's design. So like I could really help them coach to create like a really sustainable business model or like help with their market or whatever it was, like how they should, make sales. And
Mm.
like if I knew their design, I could take like my coaching to that next level because it's like personalized to them and like specifically
Yeah.
how their energy works. Because my whole goal is like so you don't burn out. You don't like get frustrated and like up against the wall or like just stuck. I want, things to be easy and rolling and like you're not constantly overthinking things. And I was like, oh, human design. I need to bring this to my business so I could help coaches in like another level. So then, like once they really understand themselves, we could make
Yeah.
really specific changes in their businesses and create like a business model that's really sustainable and fun. Like, so they're really excited every day because that's how I was starting to feel. And that's kind of how I brought it into my business. And I just kept getting deeper and deeper into it. It's just like, I love it.
Hey everyone, Lex here.
And M.
And if you haven't heard, we did something pretty darn cool.
We sure did. We launched a completely free community built specifically for coaches.
Say it again for the people in the back.
We launched a free community for coaches. Tell them quickly who it's for and what we're doing inside, Lex.
Sure thing. So it's for anyone from the coaching curious to side hustlers to coaches ready to scale. And through the virtual platform that we've built, we've created a safe and fun space to learn, launch, grow, connect, ideate, collaborate, vent, and evolve together.
Nailed it, Lex. Now, while it's free, you must apply in order to gain a free membership. So we can make sure everyone inside is awesome, like us.
Apply today at readysetcoachcommunity.com.
I love that you had one conversation that legitimately changed your life.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? It
Yeah.
started you off on a journey that has probably then changed and been like, you've been the catalyst for so many people and your clients and leading them through that. And I love what you said too about like utilizing human design to inform your marketing or to inform your messaging and like the way that you want to talk to your potential client.
Yeah, it is like it is a lot to like get into. So like
Yeah.
if you never heard of it, like don't worry about it. Just like learn the basics, like could change your life. If you know like your strategy and your authority and your type, that will solely change your life. If, it gets a little overwhelming learning it all, but it's fascinating how something so simple is like your birth time, your place, like it could tell you so much about you. And it does seem like a little woo-woo, but like I'm okay with that because like it feels good to me and like I feel like I'm seen and like this is who I'm supposed to be. And so I'll just roll with it.
Totally. And I think it's really neat too how the founder of it, and now I'm blanking on his name. Do you remember what's his name?
Raru. Yeah.
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 I'm blanking too because I never know how to say it.
I never know how to say it. And so like I love the fact that it's also a little bit more modern. It's something, as you mentioned, like there's like a mixture of astrology and I Ching or I Ching.
Yeah, I Ching.
I Ching and then a little bit of science. Like it's like the perfect recipe of it all. And then there is that next step that you could go through with gene keys. Have you done gene keys at all?
Oh yeah, I want to bring that in my business, but that's like
Yes.
a whole nother level.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And again, it's like a depth and an understanding and a
Mhm.
just that fact of being able to understand yourself. And I like how incredible would this have been when we were in our 20s and we're writing in our diaries, like, who am I? What am I supposed to do with my life? And being able to have that much more insight of self.
Yeah, exactly. Because like I'm thinking like when I have kids, like if I know their design and like there's kind of like ways you should ask like for me as a generator, like I really need to be asked those yes or no questions. Like if you ask me an open-ended question, my mind like goes blank. So if like I could
So
raise my children in
true.
this way, like how they're kind of like, so they don't feel stuck or something's wrong with them. It just kind of makes their life a little
Yeah.
easier too. And like, it's
I
just
need to pull up
fascinating.
my son's. I did his like the moment he the moment he was born, like a crazy person. So let me see. I think he's a generator. Let's see if I have it here. Official. I have like an official doc for him of his blood type. Oh yeah, his human design. He's a manifesting generator, and his inner authority is emotional solar plexus, and he
Mhm.
has a 3-5 profile, trial and error,
Nice.
definition, split definition.
Hmm.
And so I found, and then I did his rising. What is he? You're right. What's your rising sun? Your rising sign, is it your moon?
No, it should say rising or ascent or
Rising. Let's see. Let's see. I have it linked somewhere. Oh, it didn't automatically go. His sun is a Libra. I did his gene keys. Like I did everything. It's here, but it clearly like cleared out. And maybe this wasn't it. I did his gene keys at some point. I kind of just went all crazy on my son, which was hilarious. Oh, he's a hologenic profile. Yeah. Anyways, it was so fascinating. I need to screenshot it so it doesn't go away. But doing all of those things and like understanding your kid. So my son's a manifesting generator. So how should I talk to him? Like, what would be a good way to talk to him? I'm actually going to take notes on this.
so it's like he needs things to respond to. Like I was saying, he's because he's part generator, like I am. It's like the yes or no questions. Like, don't ask him like, what do you want to eat for dinner? Like, ask, do you want spaghetti? Do you want tacos? Like, give very specific
Mhm.
things so he could say just yes or no, because it's all about that sacral gut response.
That's so funny because it's so
Yeah.
true. That's exactly how he is. When I ask him, like, what did you do today? He'll be like,
Yeah,
and then
it's too much. It's just
it's
like your
too
brain
much.
goes blank. Yeah. Even
Yeah.
if
And
it's a
I'm
simple
like,
question.
did you play Magnetiles? Yeah. Did you
Yeah.
eat apples? No. And then
Yeah.
he will say the thing. So that's so funny. That's so cool to
Yeah.
have. So for those that are listening and are coaches or coaching curious, how do you like how maybe actually this is a good question in terms of if you're building your coaching program and you're not quite sure what type of coach you should be, have you seen one type of design like is a better coach for X, Y, and Z than this? Or
I mean, so human design is definitely not supposed to like, it's not meant to box you in or pinpoint you in a certain direction. It's just to kind of like help you align to like what really brings you joy. And so
Mhm.
I wouldn't say there's necessarily like one specific type that's like a better coach. It's more of just really emphasizing like you as a projector. I'm guessing you're like a really good coach because you see more of the big picture and things that other people might see. And so you like really utilize that as a coach to help people like maybe their blind spots.
Mhm.
And so it's more like that and understanding more of like your energy. But I mean, I could say like a manifester, it's one of those that they just do what they want to do. And
Mhm.
so they're very good at helping you understand like stop listening to those people and just go do it. Or
Mhm.
like there's different, I guess each type has kind of like their strengths. Like a manifesting generator, they're very good at like getting a lot done so they could really help you organize to get a lot done as a coach and like lay out what you want to do and figure out like the steps and the whole like I guess reverse engineer something. But then like me as a generator, I'm very good at like helping you pinpoint like what brings you like the most joy and helping you focus and revolve like staying in your zone of genius. Um, so it's like every type kind of has strengths, not
Mhm.
necessarily like you're going to be the best at, business coaching or
Yeah.
coach, like nutritional coach. It's more of like using those strengths as your type to be like the best coach you could be based on your strengths.
I love that. And yeah, being able to hone in on a particular area is so
Mhm.
helpful. So at the Ready Set Coach podcast, we love giving homework to our listeners. So Erin, what kind of homework should we give today?
I mean, keep it simple and just go look up your design.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
like,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. Where
just
should
like
they do
keep it
that?
simple. I mean, my website, you could get free charts like a lot of places. My website has it. And then when you download your chart, it does give you a little more detail of what each thing means. But there's, just Google it. There's a million places you could get your free chart. And to keep it simple, just like see what your design is and like your type, and just like look into that and see kind of what that means. Just keep it very simple. And because like at least just that, doing that will give you a lot of insight to who you are.
Inform everything. And so where can people find out more about you?
I'm on my Instagram, I got LinkedIn, and then my website, darngoodbusinesscoach.com, has all the information about me. And then plus you could get your free chart and learn more about you.
I love the name Darn Good Business Coach. It's so fun. I honestly think you should be a damn good business coach, but that's me. I guess that might be more prohibitive in some schools, in some areas.
Yes, well, exactly. It's like, I want to be PG. Or yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. I want to be safe for work, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Erin, thank you so much for leading us down the path of human design and how it informs coaching. And for those listening, definitely go check out Erin and all the work she's doing. She hosts incredible workshops. We actually have a workshop coming up with Second Degree Society, my other company, but she also hosts things elsewhere. So check out her offerings. And as always, we'll see you the next time. Are you ready to sing with me, Erin? On the Ready, Set, Coach podcast. Everyone's like, oh God, here we go. All right. Have a great day, everyone. Bye. If you're enjoying the Ready, Set, Coach podcast, please leave a review wherever you are listening. For more information about Ready, Set, Coach, visit readysetcoachprogram.com.